Why, hello there, and welcome to the scariest of scary story times. Once again, we are resuming with Goosebumps. I'm sure not many people saw that little intro where I did the slow fade into a mad smile from a regular smile. But those who watched in rerun will see it. It was pretty cool, if I do say so myself, and a little creepy. Shall I do it again? What do you think? Shall I do it again? The music is going. Hello, Crystal. Huzzah! Wasn't that good? That was a pretty good one, wasn't it? Anyway, welcome to story time. Second time I've said that tonight. Yes, it is another early one. Grey Wolf. Huzzah! Thank you for being here. Anyway, yes, story time lately has been earlier and earlier, and I'm okay with that. I don't know about you. I hope you are too. But regardless, I'm enjoying it. And I can give more energy right now. So there's that, you know. So here we go. Facebook. Brett Picorni is my name, and stories are my game. Right? Something like that. You can find me on there. You can also find the group Storytime. 2 words, exclamation point, at the end. Or whichever that would be. Then, YouTube, of course. Find my channel. The custard came out wonderfully, Grey Wolf. The custard came out wonderfully, and so did the spotted dick. And they went very, very well together. So delicious. So, yes, I've gotten quite good at making custard. I really have. And this one I used 2 vanilla beans instead of 1. So, it was very good. But anyway, good custard, good dick, spotted dick. Delicious. Together, especially. That creamy spotted dick was just to die for. Anyway, YouTube, Picorni1, that's my channel. Make sure you hit like on this video right here or whatever it is right now. Oh, I just tossed off my own glasses. But hit like now. Hit subscribe if you have not done that either. Make sure you share it with your friends so they can watch as well. And be sure to comment as you already are, some of you. Thank you, by the way. Comments are very delightful. I love having people to chat with while I tell these stories. And finally, of course, there's Twitch. Brett Doesn't Game. All one word. Keep that in mind. You don't have to follow me on Twitch. Do whatever you like. But hey, I would appreciate the likes and the subscribes on YouTube if you can do that. Anyway, shall we get started? We are resuming with R.L. Stein's Goosebumps, the Haunted Mask. Whoa! And we're resuming from chapter 9. Are we ready? Oh, we're almost ready. There's one more thing I have to do. And that is to light a candle for ambiance. But it can stay right under me here. And I can leave the lights on. It'll be fine that way. There we are. It'll still provide a little bit of a flicker. So here we are. Goosebumps, Chapter 9. "Oh!" Carly Beth shrieked and jerked back her hand. The mask grinned at her. Its orange eyes glowed brightly. The lips appeared to curl back over the fangs. She suddenly felt dizzy. Dizzy? What is going on here? Let's see. Yes, this is the microphone. Good. Good. She felt dizzy. What is going on here? As she staggered back, away from the shelves, she realized that the angry cry hadn't come from the mask. It had come from behind her. Carly Beth spun around to see the black-caped store owner glaring at her from the doorway. His dark eyes flashed. His mouth was turned down into a menacing frown. Oh, I thought... Carly Beth started, glancing back at the mask. She still felt consumed confused. Her heart pounded loudly in her chest. Thump, 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 thump. "I'm so sorry you saw these," the man said in a low, threatening voice. He took a step toward her, his cape brushing the doorway. Allow me to turn that music down a little bit. I think it might be too loud. There we are. What is he going to do? Carly Beth wondered, uttering a horrifying gasp. Why is he coming at me like that? What is he going to do to me? "I am so sorry," he repeated. His small, dark eyes burning holes into hers. He took another step closer. Carly Beth backed away from him. Then she uttered a startled cry as she backed into the display shelves. The hideous masks jiggled and quaked as if alive. What do you mean?" she managed to choke out. I was just... "I am sorry you saw these because they are not for sale," the man said softly. He stepped past her and straightened one of the masks on its stand. Carly Beth breathed a loud sigh of relief. He didn't mean to scare me, she told herself. I am scaring myself. She crossed her arms in front of her coat and tried to force her heartbeat to return to normal. She stepped to the side as the store owner continued to arrange the masks, handling them carefully, brushing their hair with one hand, tenderly dusting off their bulging, blood-covered foreheads. "Not for sale. Why not?" Carly Beth demanded. Her voice came out tiny and shrill. "Too scary," the man replied. He turned to smile at her. "But I really want a scary one," Carly Beth told him. "I want that one." She pointed to the mask she had touched, the mask with the open mouth and its terrifying jagged fangs. "Too scary," the man repeated, pushing his cape behind his shoulder. "But it's Halloween," Carly Beth protested. "I have a really scary gorilla mask," the man said, motioning for Carly Beth to go back to the front room. "Very scary. Looks like it's growling. I will give you a good price on it since it's so late." Carly Beth shook her head, her arms crossed defiantly in front of her. "A gorilla mask won't scare Steve and Chuck," she said. The man's expression changed. "Who?" "My friends," she told him. "I have to have that one," she insisted. "It's so scary I'm almost afraid to touch it. It's perfect." "It's too scary," the man repeated, lowering his eyes to it. He ran his hand over the green forehead. "I can't take responsibility." "It's so real-looking," Carly Beth gushed. "They'll both faint. I know they will. Then they'll never try to scare me again." "Young lady," the store owner started, glancing impatiently at his watch. "I really must insist that you make up your mind. I am a patient man, but... But it looks like she interrupted him. "Please," Carly Beth begged. "Please sell it to me. Here, look." She dug into her jeans pocket and pulled out the money she had brought. "Young lady, $30, Carly Beth said, shoving the wadded-up bills into the man's hand. "I'll give you $30 for it. That's enough, isn't it?" "It's not a matter of money," he told her. "These masks are not for sale." With an exasperated sigh, he started toward the doorway that led to the front of the store. "Please, I need it. I really need it," Carly Beth begged, chasing after him. "These masks are too real," he insisted, gesturing to the shelves. "I'm warning you. Please, please." He shut his eyes. "You will be sorry." "No, I won't. I won't. I know I won't," Carly Beth exclaimed gleefully, seeing that he was about to give in. He opened his eyes. He shook his head. She could see that he was debating with himself. With a sigh, he tucked the money into his coat pocket. Then he carefully lifted the mask from the shelf, straightening the pointed ears, and started to hand it to her. "Thanks," she cried, eagerly snatching the mask from his hands. "It's perfect, perfect!" She held the mask by the flat nose. It felt soft and surprisingly warm. "Thanks again," she cried, hurrying to the front, the mask gripped tightly in her hand. "Can I give you a bag for it?" the man called after her. But Carly Beth was already out of the store. She crossed the street and started to run toward home. The sky was black, No stars poked through. The street was still glistened wetly from the afternoon's rain. This is going to be the best trick-or-treat night ever, Carlybeth thought happily, because this is the night I get my revenge. She couldn't wait to spring out at Steve and Chuck. She wondered what their costumes would be. They had both talked about painting their faces blue and dyeing their hair blue and being Smurfs. Lame, really lame. Carlybeth stopped under the street light and held up the mask, gripping it with both hands by its pointed ears. It grinned up at her, the two crooked rows of fangs hanging over its thick, rubbery lips. Then, tucking it carefully under one arm, she ran the rest of the way home. Stopping at the bottom of the driveway, she gazed up at her house, the front windows all glowing brightly, the porch light sending white light over the lawn. I've got to try this mask out on someone, she thought eagerly. I've got to see just how good it is. Her brother's grinning face popped into her mind. Noah, of course, she said aloud. Noah has really been asking for it. Grinning gleefully, Carlybeth hurried up the drive, eager to make Noah her first victim. Carlybeth crept silently through the front door and tossed her coat onto the entryway floor. The house felt stuffy and hot. A sweet smell, the aroma of hot cider on the stove, greeted her. Mom really gets into the holidays, she thought with a smile. Tiptoeing through the front hallway, holding the mask in front of her, Carlybeth listened hard. Noah, where are you? Where are you, my little guinea pig? Noah was always bragging about how he was so much braver than Carlybeth. He was always putting bugs down her back and planting rubber snakes in her bed, anything he could think of to make her scream. She heard footsteps above her head. Noah must be up in his room, she realized. He's probably putting on his Halloween costume. At the last minute, Noah had decided he wanted to be a cockroach. Mrs. Caldwell had dashed frantically all over the house, finding the materials to build pointy feelers and a hard shell for his back. Well, the little bug is in for a surprise, Carlybeth thought evilly. She examined her mask. This should send that cockroach scampering under the sink. She stopped at the bottom of the stairs. She could hear loud music coming from Noah's room. An old heavy metal song. Gripping the mask by the rubbery neck, she raised it carefully over her head, then pulled it slowly down. It was surprisingly warm inside. The mask fit tighter than Carlybeth had imagined. It had a funny smell, kind of sour, kind of old, like damp newspapers that have been left for years in an attic or garage. She slid it all the way down until she could see through the eye holes. Then she smoothed the bulging, bald head over her head and tucked the neck down. I should have stopped in front of a mirror, she fretted. I can't see if it looks right. The mask felt very tight. Her breathing echoed noisily in the flat nose. She forced herself to ignore the sour smell that invaded her nose. She held on tightly to the banister as she crept up the stairs. It was hard to see the steps through the eye holes. She had to take the climb slowly, one step at a time. The heavy metal music ended as she stepped into the landing. She crept silently down the hall and stopped outside Noah's door. Carlybeth edged her head into the doorway and peeked into the brightly lit room. Noah was standing in front of the mirror, adjusting two long cockroach feelers above his head. Noah, I'm coming for you, Carlybeth called. To her surprise, her voice came out gruff and low. It wasn't her voice at all. Huh? Startled Noah. Noah spun around. Noah, I've got you, Carlybeth shrieked, her voice deep, raspy, evil. No! Her brother uttered a hushed cry of protest. Even under his bug makeup, Carlybeth could see him go pale. She darted into the room, her arms outstretched as if ready to grab him. No, please! He cried, his expression terrified. Who are you? How did you get in? He didn't even recognize her, Carlybeth thought gleefully. And he's scared to death. Was it the hideous face, the deep rumble of a voice, or both? Carlybeth didn't care. The mask was definitely a success. I've got you, she screamed, surprising herself at how scary her voice sounded from inside the mask. "No, please," Noah begged. "Mom! Mom!" He backed toward the bed, trembling all over, his feelers quivering in fright. "Mom, help!" Carly Beth burst out laughing. The laughter came out in a deep rumble. "It's me, stupid," she cried. "What a yellow-bellied scary cat." "Huh?" Still huddled by the bed, Noah stared hard at her. "Don't you recognize my jeans? My sweater? It's me, you idiot!" Carly Beth declared in the gruff voice. "But your face, that mask," Noah stammered. It really scared me. I mean," he gaped at her, studying the mask. "It didn't sound like you, Carly Beth," he muttered. "I thought—" Carly Beth tugged at the bottom of the mask, trying to lift it off. It felt hot and sticky. She was panting noisily. She tried pulling the bottom with both hands. The mask didn't budge. She raised her hands to the pointed ears and tried lifting it off. She tugged harder. She tried pulling the mask off by the top of the head. It didn't move. "Hey, it won't come off," she cried. "The mask, it won't come off!" And that, dear friends, is the end of Chapter 10. That means we have read 2 chapters of Goosebumps, The Haunted Mask. I hope you enjoyed it tonight. As you know, we only read 2 chapters of Goosebumps because, we want it to last so long, don't we? So, we will leave it at that. By the way, I see Regina has joined us. Huzzah! So, for now, we will be ending. You did make it through the whole chapter, that's true. Anyway, though, we will be ending here tonight. Thank you for those of you who are here for watching. Thank you, dear friends, for joining in Storytime. Once again, find me on Facebook if you would like. Brett Picorni. Easy enough. Very few of me around. And let's see. Storytime is the name of the group on Facebook as well. 2 words, exclamation point at the end. Then, let's see here. B Picorni 1 on YouTube. Pretty easy to find as well. And if you're so inclined, like the video, hit subscribe. Yes, this wax is just being a bother. Like the video, hit subscribe. I'm glad you love Storytime, Crystal. I love it too, and I'm glad to do it for you all. But like the video, hit subscribe. Make sure you share it with your friends as well. And, of course, what's the last part? Oh, yes, comment all you like. Leave comments and stuff. I like comments. Yes, isn't this a great candle? It is pretty wonderful, isn't it? This was a present from my friend Liz. Morbida, I see you have joined as well. Huzzah! And you're asking me to send nudes. Well, maybe. Maybe if you ask nicely. Perhaps. I'll consider it. But anyway, YouTube, like, subscribe, comment, share, all that jazz. And, of course, Twitch, Brett Doesn't Game, all one word. With that, I must be off, everyone. So, until next time, I bid you adieu. Tomorrow night it is... Oh, yes, that's right. Tomorrow is poetry night. So we will resume with some poetry. Perhaps I'll read you some more originals. We shall see. Either way, have a good night, and until next time, that's all, folks.